Hey everyone, welcome to LearnPowerQuery. Since it's the first episode, I want to take a moment to go over why I am doing this and what you'll need to follow along for this episode and other episodes going forward. About 2.5 years ago, before I ever recorded this episode, I guest authored a post on PowerPivotPro.com, and then I kind of faded back into my career. That was until I got an email on August 30th, 2018, notifying me of a new comment. John wrote, "Thanks. Just letting you know that the post still gets hits. This season of how-to tutorials is dedicated to John. If I can even help one professional, then these videos are worth it." All right, let's get started. Okay, so there's a few things that you're going to need to know to get started. Microsoft Excel 2016 and later, Learn PowerQuery would actually be Learn, Get, and Transform. They renamed the add-in, and it's built into the software, so you don't have to do anything as long as you have the right version. For Microsoft Excel 2010 to 2013, you're going to have to go download it and install it. Make sure you get the right bit version, either 32 or 64, depending on your version of Excel. If you don't have Microsoft Excel, you can go and get PowerBI Desktop. That's actually how we're going to be recording this video today. Other than that, I'm sorry Mac users, but there's not currently an option for you. So you're going to have to do one of these other options to follow along. The last thing that you're going to need is some sample files. You will have a link below the video. Otherwise, you really need to be willing to learn this stuff because I really think it'll help your career. Here I have Power BI Desktop open. We're going to be using a PRN file like we did with the original blog post. All this means is that it's a space delimited file. Believe it or not, some ERP systems still use space delimited files. You can go back to how I felt about that in the original blog post. Once you have Power BI Desktop open, we're going to go to Get Data and select the text/CSV option. Find the file and then click Open. Now that we open it, you can see Microsoft has added a new feature in the last couple of years that'll make this much easier. In the middle of the top of the window, there's an option to enter the delimiter spacing. In the original blog post, I had to show you how to edit the code directly. But as you can see, the software is smart enough to default to fixed width. There's a few other options in here if you're lucky enough to have better data, like colon delimited, comma delimited, equal sign delimited, etc. But we don't have that. We have a space delimited file. So we have to enter the number of characters that we need for the software to recognize each column correctly. Since the data is pretty clean, PowerQuery figured out how to import it using 0, 22, 61, 86. Oh, wait a second. It's missing something. Looks like 90 didn't work. So let's go ahead and punch that in. The way to edit this live is to put in the number that you think is missing between the two numbers that are already on there. Since it's space delimited, it has to be less than the number on the right and greater than the number on the left. And then you press the tab key and we'll see it refresh. As you can see, the preview refreshed and now the units sold is separated from the sales column. I think we can use this data now, so we're going to go down to the yellow button and push load. Let's recap what we just worked on. So first we're going to get data and then find the text/CSV option. We chose a PRN or space delimited file. It doesn't have to have the PRN extension. If you export a file from your ERP software, it can just be a regular text file. The other thing is that you make sure that the spacing is right and then hit load. Now when I say the spacing is right in the original blog post, I explain how a space delimited file works. So for example, in the sentence Darren makes a video, you always start with 0 and then you count the number of characters going to the right. So Darren would be 6 characters. Now there's a space and then the word makes, which is 5 letters, and that's what gets us to 12. Then 2 more characters gets us to A, and so on and so forth. So what we're doing is we're saying in a complete sentence, we're telling the computer when to make a break. So you can kind of think of yourself like a computer where it's counting. It starts at 0 and then it counts the characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? All the way to 20. And then you're saying, hey, Mr. Computer, at 6, 12, 14, and 20, I want you to stop and then cut that part of the sentence out. Split it up. Well, that concludes episode number 1, part 1. I'm going to come back with another episode to show what do we do now that we have the data and show how to clean it up a little more. Please, 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 if you have any comments or questions or ideas for another episode, please comment below. You can reach me on LinkedIn. You can subscribe to my channel, pretty please. And you can go to LearnPowerQuery.com to learn more about what I'm doing. Thank you very much, and I'm excited to share the next episode with you.